Hello everybody, after a long wait we finally got our new maps. The 2021 Ladder Season 2 is going to be blessing us with a new maps, finally. We had 7 maps in the previous map pool. We had Death Aura, Pillars of Gold, Submarine, Jagannatha, Lightshade, Oxide and Romanticide. And we are tossing away 3 of the maps, and I think a very good choice of tossing away these maps. It's going to be Death Aura, Pillars of Gold and Submarine. We will no longer see those maps. And these 3 maps will be replaced by 2000 Atmospheres, Blackburn and Beckett Industries. Interesting. In this video I will show you the overall overview of these maps, some Protoss wall-ins and what to watch out. Stay tuned. So the first map I want to talk about is 2000 Atmospheres. My very first impression about this map is that it's a standard map. It doesn't feel like it has any special things that I would dislike, other than the maybe small base with only 4 mineral patches and a rich Vespene geyser. I don't like the rich minerals or rich Vespene geysers in any of the maps, but since this is like a very far away base to take, I'm kind of fine with it. So 2000 Atmospheres, and let's just call it Atmospheres really, like what the hell is this number 2000? The Atmospheres map is a rather standard map by the TLMC14 finalist contest, and it is a rush distance of 35 seconds. If you send the probe across the map, it will go through the middle, as you can see in here. It will go around the bushes, through the bridge, and to the opposite side of the map. The middle is blocked by 2 rocks that will be opened up, I suppose, in later of the game when the armies get bigger, so you will open up new paths. The base layout is very similar to all of the maps. You can take either like a linear base or a triangle base. I would suggest going for a third base in a more of a linear position. It just feels more defensive. You have rocks to defend you, and if you want to defend this position, you have a ramp going down. So if your opponent is going to be attacking you, he will have to go up to the high ground from both of these sides. Speaking about the wall-ins, versus Terran, this map has 2 Reaper jump spots, which is unusual for the maps. We usually have either a 1 big jump spot or just 1 jump spot in general. You can see from this side we have a singular jump spot that can be blocked by a single building, but it has to be a pylon. If you will be trying to block this position with a gateway or a cyber core, you will not be blocking it because there will be room to walk around it with a Reaper. So a singular pylon to block this path. But there's another path, slightly bigger, on the right side of this main base at the bottom side. Near the ramp you can see a Reaper jump spot from this position. It's much bigger. You need 2 big buildings to block it. So a gateway and a cyber core, which makes this map pretty good for the Terrans when it comes to the Reaper scouting, because you need to invest pretty much your entire infrastructure in the main base and at the front of the main base to prevent the Reaper from jumping in. I would suggest maybe doing a wall-off in here and then maybe leaving a unit in here. But what is important, these are the only jump spots from the Reaper on this map. As we can see on the ramp, it's all blocked by like the grass or flowers or whatever. So the Reaper cannot jump through here. It can only walk in through the main ramp or these 2 jump spots. So for the Terran, that would be quite good and bad at the same time, since they have a couple of choices to go in with the Reaper. Against the Zerg, the wall-in feels very easy to do. You can block it somewhat even with only 2 big buildings, but you will be leaving a slightly bigger gap. Walling this ramp or choke with 3 big buildings is very easy. You can do numerous different angles and it's going to be very easy. What I would be recommending, and the wall-off that I figured out would be the best in this position, is try to build a pylon like at the corner of the outside gas. You can see this gas, right? And then 1 pylon away, 2 pylons away, 3 pylons away. This is the perfect pylon positioning. So 1, 2, 3. And then you place the pylon here and you will be able to create the wall-off. This kind of wall-off I think is the perfect for this position. You have a very narrow choke in here, and in case there would be links running by or maybe roaches running by, you know, trying to squeeze through, you can easily force field this area out with a single force field. So a gateway here, cyber core here. I would recommend starting a gateway from this side on the left side, and then create your wall-off accordingly. It's very easy to do. The triple big building, the choke is rather narrow. The pylon power field does give you a lot of room to do. The top base looks very similar. You can wall off with one pylon in here, two big buildings, and a wall off that looks like this as well. From the corner of the outside gas, you have one pylon, two pylon, three pylon, and you place the pylon here. So it's very symmetrical. It's very easy to remember these kind of wall-ins on both of the sides of the map. On this map, we also been reintroduced to the watchtowers. We haven't been using them for a while, so it will be an interesting change as well. We have one at the top, one at the bottom, and then they do cover somewhat a large area, like covering your third base. If you cover the watchtower, will be giving you a lot of peace of mind to defend from this side, but it does not cover anything more. It doesn't see the fourth base, but it feels like a good vision to have, but it's not really that crucial. So I think this is going to be it about atmospheres. It feels like a very standard map. I don't have any bad feelings about it. I haven't played a single game on this map yet, so this is already a good sign for this. The second map I want to talk about is Beckett Industries. It's a rather small map. It's 31 seconds rush distance. It's quite beautiful, to be honest. I like the design of the map. It feels very pretty. Okay, let's talk things about Starcraft. If you send the probe across the map, it will arrive in 31 seconds, the 31 rush distance. It will go down the ramp, it will go through the middle. It has 3 inhibitor zones, which is the acceleration zones, I suppose I should say. One small one near your base, one big one in the middle, and one smaller one in the enemy's base, or, well, your base if you're spawning down. I feel like it's a very good defensive map on the three bases. It feels like a very tight map. You can see there's a lot of chokes, a lot of ramps. So it feels like it's going to be very easy to defend. However, it's very, very aggressive when it comes to the rush distance, right? Look at this. This is the potential third base that you would be taking, and it's really not far away from your enemy base. It's very close. Talking about the wall-ins, against the Terran, against the Reaper, I would not recommend walling in here. You need like 3 big buildings and a pylon to fully wall in against the Reaper, so unless you really want to wall in, you should not be doing that. There are a lot of jump spots near the ramp as well, so I would recommend just walling in standardly near the Nexus and then be prepared for the Reaper jumping in. The natural is quite small as well. There are no Reaper jump spots in here, which is good. That means the Reaper can go either straight to the main from this side, or has to go through the natural entirely from this side, and then try to jump in from this side. Against the Zerg, again, a quite easy map to wall off. 3 big buildings, different maneuvers of the wall-ins, whatever you prefer. I think this kind of wall-in can be perfect, or at least is very, very good. What you can do, and how you can remember this kind of wall-in, is you can see this outside the mineral, put the pylon 1 up, so 1 hex up, and then 2.5 pylons away, right? 1 pylon, 2 pylon and a half. And then you put the wall in here. Which is wrong at this moment, but that doesn't matter. The other side is good. This one is better. So 1 hex down from the outside mineral, 2.5 pylons. 1 pylon, 2 pylon and a half. Perfect wall in. You can wall in here. And there's of course a force field potential from this side. Very easy to do. This pylon is wrong because you would not be able to block them ramp with a gateway or a big building. So that's why it's important to have a hex away from the middle, right? 1 pylon, 2 pylons and a half. Very easy to do. Third base, rather easy to take. You can take the linear one or the triangle one again. I would suggest going for the linear one. It has a very tight choke, very easy defendable for a Protoss, I would say, with the force fields. Should not be easy to breach. The other side that you can be attacked from is this side. It has a quite wide ramp, but they still need to destroy the debris, right? So it does take some time to kill this. So the earlier the game attack is going to come, the easier it's going to be defending from only this side. The fourth base is quite easy to defend as well. There's only 1 choke in here. It does have the acceleration zone though, but this side is quite wide open, but it's very hard to flank, right? It's really easy to defend. It feels like only 1 force field here to block, maybe 1.5, and then this area can be attacked from. No watchtowers in here, numerous bases, only 12 bases, no rich Vespin geysers, no rich minerals or anything. So this feels like a much better version of Submarine, if you ask me. It's an aggressive map, it's interesting, but it does feel like it is actually playable. Not much airspace overall. Yeah, not really a place where you can hide your air units behind your enemy bases. Maybe in here, but it's really not that great, not that useful. I'm sure queens could be having a. I'm sure queens should have enough range to destroy an air unit in here. Stalkers or marines should not have enough range. So that would be it for Beckett Industries. The main base on the other side looks very much the same. So it's just very symmetrical. So that would be it for Beckett Industries. Feels like a better version of Submarine to me. And last but not least, Blackburn, the winner of the TLM C14, the #1 map and the craziest map of them all, I think. When I see this map, I just get angry as a pro gamer. It's very tricky, it's very unusual, but maybe it will bring out great games. What is so tricky about it? Well, there's just so many things to talk about. First of all, is the slow zones, inhibitor zones. On the edge of your main base, there are 3 of them. On one side and on the other side. That means the units or drops or reapers or war prisms, overlords, anything will be slowed down in here. So if you want to drop from the edge of the base, you'll be slowed down. It's a very open map as well. Like if you look at the third base that you want to take, there's just so much space. There's very little wall off that you can do. Sure, it's kind of blocked that you need to go around and around and around if you want to flank. But this area is just so much open. And the best of the weirdest things, and by best I mean the worst, is the freaking gold bases. Like, I hate this. I hate gold bases. I think we've proven time and time again that gold bases are bad for the game. But they do provide some interesting games. I'm like, as a pro gamer, I hate them. As a viewer, so be it. Let's go gold bases, you know. As a pro gamer, I hate this. There's a gold base. It's quite far away from the main base. It's like you can attack the gold base from behind. It's hard to defend. But overall, I am a big disbeliever in gold bases as a pro player. So this is how I feel about this. Again, more inhibitor slow zones in the middle of the map. The map is quite open overall, but it's kind of closed by the rocks, right? You can go in here, go around. If you open up these rocks, the map is actually quite open. In the middle is quite open as well, but you do need to destroy some of the rocks later into the game. The rush distance is 35 seconds. If you go with the probe across the map, it will arrive in 35 seconds. It will go in between the inhibitor zones and it will arrive into your enemy base. The third base, I would recommend going for the linear one. If you take the triangle one, sure, you will have some defensive capabilities because of this, like rockets or whatever. But you will have more danger by the flank. It's like easier to flank. Definitely would recommend it, going for the linear base. Reaper wall-ins. Against a Terran, you can wall in your main base with 2 big buildings, so you don't have to reveal your tech. If you want to go for the Twilight Council or Striker or whatever, you can hide it behind. The Reaper will jump in here, but it will not spot the technical buildings. So a Gateway and a Cyber Core, I would definitely recommend going for this wall-off on this map. The main is quite big, and the rush distance, like from side to side, is not that bad. If you wall in here, the Reaper will just simply have to go through the natural. If it goes through the natural, well, there's no jump-in spot for the natural. It will have to go through the main ramp, so it's easy to deflect the early game Reaper versus a Terran. It cannot also jump in from this side. The Reaper can only jump in from this side, from the right side of the ramp. Similar in here from the left side, the Reaper can only jump in here. So it's a very defendable area against a Reaper. Against a Zerg, just like any other map with the ramp, really, it's quite easy to wall in. The way that I would recommend you to remember the wall in is like from the corner of the gas, but like from the unbuildable corner from the gas, 1 hex down, and then 2 pylons. Well, 3 pylons. 1, 2, 3. Third pylon is the one that you build, and then you can build a wall what you like. It's a perfect wall. You can re-wall with the big building or a small building, whatever you prefer, and you can choose the middle building to be from this side or this side, whatever you prefer. Just a very standard wall. On the other side of the map, it's the same. From the unbuildable gas, 1 hex down, and then 3 pylons. 1, 2, 3. And then you build the pylon in here. Again, you can wall in with the big building, and then you can choose the direction of your wall. Same goes with the Reaper. A couple of bases that are interesting is the top one that's like has a couple of ramps in here, but the most interesting base in here is the bottom one in between the main bases, which is kind of blocked by the rocks. You can maybe use a warpism, or the Terran can use a medevac to make a base in here, but it's like in the middle of a battlefield, so I would not recommend going for a quick bases here, but it's definitely an interesting map. Blackburn is the most interesting map of them all. It has all the difficult features for a pro gamer. I think this will be the most hated map from the pro gamer's perspective, but from the viewer's perspective, it will be very fun to watch games because they will, I would say, most definitely not be all that standard. To sum up the new maps, I like them. I like all the new maps. I like the new map pool overall. The map that will be the most difficult for me as a pro gamer will be Blackburn. It has all the difficulties in there, the slow inhibitor zones, the cold base, just different map layouts, but I do need more experience on that. So overall, I think the map pool is good. I'm really looking forward to playing on that, and yeah, that's just going to be it for the overview. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope it was helpful. I hope you will be using the wall-ins very easily, and I'll see you on the next video. Good luck on the ladder in the season 2 of 2021. See you next time.